So I'm here in Venice Beach, well, close to Venice Beach, and I've been invited to the Superhuman Event. A friend of mine, Partha, who was on the Escape Your Limits podcast a couple of weeks ago, has invited me over. Well, actually his friend Roy, and there's a brand new product called Speede that I'm going to see. Apparently it's a new strength product that's about to be launched on the market. And there's also a rehabilitation product called Still Life. So there's a bunch of interesting people here. I'm hoping to meet Mr. Mike Chandler, who's also involved in the product. I'm pretty interested, and it's just in there, so come and check it out.
This is
Tell
a
us about
different
this
animal.
one then. Let's,
So what Speede is all about is providing three modes. The most prominent mode is what we call the nemesis mode, which is isokinetic. So isokinetic is resistance across the entire range of motion that you choose on a consistent movement pattern of speed. So it could be 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 4 seconds, 10 seconds, it doesn't matter. You can actually be able to plug that in down the road. Okay. Right now we have it set up for 7 seconds concentric, 7 seconds eccentric based off of your range of motion. All right? It's slow, but it's all about how hard you want to do. Time under tension. There you go. But that time under tension is all about maximizing momentary muscular failure. And when we look at that strength curve, what are you limited to when you grab 50-pound dumbbells, 10-pound dumbbells, 13-pound dumbbells, or 225 on the bench? Is you're limited to what can I do pressing that up? But you know that 50% of eccentric strength is greater than your concentric phases, sometimes even more. So now we have the capability for the entire strength curve and the entire range of motion to target every joint angle to maximize where you're weakest and where you're strongest at the appropriate load. When that happens, two things can happen.
It's like a cam in an old side-back
the old Nautilus, absolutely.
how do you do the different angles though? Because that just comes out of the floor, doesn't it?
So what will happen is we're going to have a rack, and we're going to have other attachments that will allow for lat pull down, allow for eccentric loaded, I'll call them nemesis loaded pull-ups. Right. You'll have them do seated row, you'll have them do standing row, you'll be able to do hip extension. So this is what we'll do. Okay. So when you come up, I'm going to be out of the equation. Within a matter of 60 seconds, you're going to see a demo. Not today, but you will be able to. You're going to be able to go through. You're going to say, okay, this is how I got to use the movements from the start and stop position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and just set up the workout for the curl. I'm going to hit continue. All that's going to be set. Now what you're going to do is this. You want to set it up so you can touch this button right here. Okay, we're going to set your top position. So go ahead and press and hold the button and bring it up. And stop. Let go of the button. Okay, now from here, you're going to do a single click just to set that top position. Got it. All right, now from there, lower it down, but don't touch the button. I'll tell you when. You can go a little bit quicker if you like. And what you want to do is go to the bottom position where you keep tension into your biceps. Now from right there, just go ahead and press right there, hold it there, and now press. Okay. Okay, one more time, click it. There you go. Now it's going to start 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to guide you. I want you about 50% effort. Curl it up. Go. About 50%. When you come to the top, same thing. I want you to fight into the handles about 50%. Fight it, pull up on it, pull up on the handles, pull up on the handles, pull up on the handles. Okay, so eccentric right now is 129. Ready? Go a little bit harder, about 75%. Curl up on it, curl up on it. All right, now I want you to go about maybe 75%, fight into it.
Yeah, email first.
Pull up on it, pull up on it. That's 141. Now you got 3 reps. Ready? Here we go, all out, curl. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. 100% effort, that's it. Come on, curl it up, curl it up, curl it up. Beat that 141, here it comes, ready? Fight into it.
Gonna load first.
Pull it up, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up.
And then the next screen, we're gonna have you
188, ready?
And then one signature,
Curl,
and then
go.
a couple clicks.
Fight it up, come on, come on. Everything you got, everything you got.
Click on that. Unfortunately, it takes a
That's
couple
it,
clicks.
drive
to
it,
get the
drive
keyboard
it,
to
drive
come
it. Ready? Fight it, here it comes, ready? Everything, pull, 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 pull. 213. Got one more in you, man. Here we go. Ready? I'm up.
You should click the pen.
You're good. You're good.
It's on you.
You won't. You're too fatigued already. Ready? Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. And good. Drop into the middle. You're done. Good. Nice job. So on the nemesis side, so what you're going to do is just press and hold that button. Yeah. Go ahead and bring it up. Let me get you out of this first. Okay, look. Oop. It's okay. Let me just let it sit. Okay, so get to your start position of where you want to be. Go ahead and press and hold and curl up a little bit higher. Press and hold it. Just hold it, curl up a little bit higher. Right there, good. Okay, hold it. Is that good? You got tension on both sides?
Yeah.
All right, press it one time. Just click it. All right, now we're going to go to the down motion. So now just go ahead and lower that arm down.
Just lower it down.
Yep, go ahead and bring it down.
Should it be?
Keep going.
Should there be resistance?
You go a little bit quick. Yeah, just as long as it doesn't
okay.
this, like you'll be fine. You can go ahead and bring it down to the bottom. Keep going to where the position. All this will actually be moving pretty quick too. So you won't have to. And right there, that's about good right there. Stop position. Okay, now go ahead and click it one time. All right, 5.
And what do I do? Curl it up.
3, 2, 1. Slowly bring it about 50% effort. Go. About 50%. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Both arms, that's it. Now fight into it about 50% effort. 50%. Okay? Now repeat about 75%. Pull, 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 pull. There you go, there you go. About 75, don't go crazy. We're gonna open it up in this next set, okay? Fight into it, fight into it. Bring it down, keep that position, the elbows forward, chest is up, ready? Go, balls out, curl it up, buddy. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go, Matthew, curl it up, come on. You gotta beat 232, you're at 201, that's not bad. Now eccentrically, here we go, ready? Beat 232, pull up, pull up, pull up. Come on, bring it up, here we go, pull, 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 pull. Bring your shoulders down, pull you down, 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 down. Lock it in, that's it, everything into the biceps. Fight it, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up, bring it up, come on. One more in you, man, one more, let's go, let's go, let's go, ready? Up. Pull, 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 pull. Fight into it, fight, 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 fight. Don't let it come down, don't let it come down, don't let it come down, don't let it come down. Good shot, brother. Woo! Woo!
That's quite intense with 3 reps.
Good job, man. All right, so basically what happened is you saw you had a 202 concentric, you had a 232 eccentric. Okay. The concentric, they're still working on those numbers.
Yeah.
The eccentric's pretty close to solid.
Right.
And that was a 232-pound eccentric curl. Now, again, if I said to you, let's load 232 on the bar, give me 5 reps. Not gonna happen.
Mine, it just burnt them out. I can imagine like on, I don't know, but like for sports training,
press, deadlifts. Yeah. So there's over 150 movements that can be done. But on these modes, we don't want to do single arm. You want to maximize the force output, so you got to be stable.
Right, yeah.
So I want, if I'm doing a squat, a safety bar squat, a belt squat, Zerker squat, you want to look at loads that are going to allow you to go all out for the physiological changes that happen through doing high intensity.
So what would you just do, like one set of 4 or 5?
So that's the great thing. So think about this. When you look at how this technology adapts and or works toward muscle, there's 2 ways of looking at it. On that strength curve, we are looking to activate what's called sequential order or what's called orderly dropout. The sequential order is to tap into slow fiber, intermediate fiber to a point where those can't recuperate. You target fast twitch.
Right.
It takes 4 to 10 days for that physiological response to recover in most human beings.
Yeah, okay.
So it takes 1, maybe 2 workouts a week to do that. You can still do other things. But the goal is you don't want to tap into those fast glycolytics. This is the fight or flight. This is, there's a car coming at me, I got to get out of the way.
Right.
Explode, go. That's what we're trying to recruit. That will be applied through sequencing of going, okay, I know my max concentric outforce is here, my max eccentric is here. I want to use 50% and see how long it takes me to cash out. Or you do what you guys just did, and you go 100%. Well, you didn't do it, but I did this morning. I went 100% right away. Why? Because I've been doing this for a month, 2 months, 3 months. I just go at it. My workout on Monday was 9 minutes and 38 seconds. I did 6 movements. That's all I did for Monday. All right? Now, what's great is that we also have eccentric overload capabilities. Strength coaches salivate at that because it's done safely. You've heard of weight releasers where you, okay, let's put the weight releasers on there. We're going to do a countdown of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The weight releasers drop off and you can fire up. Again, you're limited to what you can only press up. Right. Here, you're not. We are going through the entire range of motion and tapping into every angle to maximize the motor unit recruitment, the muscle fiber. And we see it on presses a lot. Everyone's shaking. And I'm like, just keep working hard through that. Why? That's motor unit recruitment. You're recruiting fibers that have no idea how to even fire because they've never tapped into it. Right. By the 2nd or 3rd time hitting that, you don't have the shaking anymore. So physiologically,
quite
Now,
efficient. So for
very
regular
efficient.
people, it's quite a. You come in, you're probably like 15 minutes and you're done.
Absolutely. And that is physiological response of 1 hour workout. As you go hard, you can create that in 12 to 15 minutes. Normally,
And that's the benefit of, resistance like this, tonal, same thing. You're working at the ranges where it's actively insufficient and passively insufficient. For your
100%.
muscles, if you use a free weight, there's certain parts of the range of motion where you're strongest. At the top, you've got mechanical
off,
advantage
yeah,
over it.
yeah.
There's no resistance. There's resistance at the top. Now, elastic resistance has a similar thing, but they don't get certain ranges. They only get it when you're maximally stretched out. So this is a bridge between that. The challenge with this is it's expensive, and there's education, and it's not for everybody. And that's
How much is that?
inherent challenge.
this will be under $5 for in-home with a subscription. That's for in-home. So you'll what's great is that this technology and what we have, the closest thing to it is $80,000.
Yeah, and I guess if you
5,000
compare that to like a cable stack, which is about $8,000, if it had the arms on it, it's probably not a bad deal in the gym, is it?
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light.
So, we're going to work on your back. So can you tell us about your back first?
So it's kind of low. It's lower back. It's worse if I sit down and then I try and get up. I can kind of feel pain, and it's sort of it's just kind of like here. This range. It's
Are you feeling it right now? Feeling some
I feel it all the
tension,
all the time.
stiffness,
Like
pain?
If I move around, I think it's something to do with my hips, because if I loosen my hips, it kind of gets a little bit easier.
Okay.
But it's a hip lower back thing. But it's where if I sit down for 5 minutes and get up, I can feel it.
Okay.
Lay down uncomfortably.
So for this, the basic premise is when your muscles are working properly, supporting your back like they should, you should be able to move through that full range of motion. You should be able to go through there, and your muscles should support you, and everything should work right. If they're not, because of previous injuries, bad habits developed over time, whatever it is, when you go down there, instead of your muscles lengthening to accommodate that, they can be kind of holding on, resisting that, or as you go to rotate, that can create these imbalances can create tension in certain areas, and you end up collapsing into certain areas, putting a lot of tension or load on certain tissues instead of allowing that to disperse along the back. So basically, what we want to do, kind of bringing it back to an actual something that we can do with you here today, is we're going to scan around on your body and tell you which muscles are not working, and then turn them back on neurologically so they support your back. Can you kind of unbutton a little bit there so we can put a show for the camera, right? So we can scan around on the hips a little bit and on the low back. If we were in a treatment room, we might scan your legs and everything, but for demonstration purposes, we'll just do this here. All right, so I'm gonna put this up here, just kind of out of the way.
You're looking buff though. You wore the right shirt. You should be getting my commentary on that.
All right, we'll just turn it up until it just feels nice and medium, like a 4 or 5 out of 10, we'll say. Feel the buzzing coming on? More in the top one? So this is the ground, or more in the bottom one? Okay. How's that there, like 1 to 10? Is it a little uncomfortable?
Bottom it's about sort of 8 to 9.
Okay. Yeah, let me
Like about
turn off there. Yeah. We want it to be just medium, like a 4 or 5 out of 10 here. Let me scan around here. Okay.
I can feel that.
I'll turn it down a little bit. So is this that mild level again where it feels like a 1 or a 2? Okay. So we're going to scan around just like that, and we're going to see if there's any spots where it gets worse like that. Yeah, okay.
That's painful, yeah.
So what's that feeling like? Is it
Like really fucking painful.
like digging into a trigger point? Like that sort of thing? Okay. Okay, good. So that's what we want there. When muscles are working well, that's how it should feel, just like a pleasant vibration.
Okay.
Only if there's a problem there will it really fight against it.
Okay.
Let's can we check the abs here?
Yeah. Oh, it's not hypoxic.
How's that?
It's okay.
Just contraction, or is it uncomfortable?
It's there. It's sort of locked up my ab actually.
As bad as the low back, or no?
Yeah, it's kind of like sort of tensed it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's still kind of like contracted here.
Okay. So try, yeah, going like that, stretch it out a little bit. How about that one?
A little bit there.
Yeah.
The side, yeah.
Worse on the right than on the left.
Yeah, just there, yeah. I'm not sure what I agreed to do. Yeah, that's painful. Oh, on both sides.
All right, it's bad on both sides. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's definitely work. So we got some of those muscles in the low back itself are really acting up for sure.
Really?
So
I'm not sure why I volunteered to do this.
So
I thought this was supposed to help me.
So he's got some, long-standing back, stiffness, moderate pain, not debilitating, but so we're working on here. So we're doing this mapping process here, trying to find where he's either bracing or guarding because of previous, bad habits or previous injuries, or inhibiting muscles. Any of those types of protective neurological patterns will show up on this. So. Now we found a spot on that left side. Let's try this here. This combination here, choice A and choice B.
It was probably a bit worse.
Worse there? Okay.
Is this kind of a new technology then?
Yeah, so electrical stimulation.
I've tried the electrical stimulation before, like from the muscle suits I've done and that kind of thing.
So electrical stimulation has been around for a long time, 40, 50 years, or longer. And what this does, this is a dual waveform direct current. So what it allows us to do is, if you look at the history, it's interesting because direct current, like the Soviets used it with their athletes in the 60s and 70s, but it would always burn, it would like sting and literally create burns on their skin from time to time. So because of the burning, direct current just got thrown out entirely, and in its place came alternating current.
Okay.
So virtually everything else that's out there is alternating current. That you can use that to contract your muscles like the suits and things like that. So you can there's some benefit to it, but for rehabilitation, what it does, as that signal goes back and forth, alternating positive, negative, it causes your muscles to co-contract and fight against each other.
Okay.
So it's like you're moving, like if you're driving your car, hitting the throttle and the brake pedal at the same time.
Right.
And this, because it's direct current, it's only going in one direction, it allows us to speak more directly, but more precisely to reprogram the nervous system to get the right muscles to contract and also the other ones to relax.
Okay.
So you can reprogram movement more efficiently and precisely.
Interesting.
In there?
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
Let's try to do some big hula hoops here first. You'll probably appreciate how we often, limit our own muscle output, right? Like the average person walking around can only contract 30 or 40% of their muscle.
Right.
Someone who trains a lot, you can get up to 60 or 70% at any one moment in time.
Right.
You can engage that. That limitation here is part of a protective pattern within the nervous system. Okay. And when we scan around on your body, that's really what we're finding is where those protective patterns are. And so here we're teaching your brain to instead of limiting or holding on there, teaching your brain to allow those muscles to work better.
Oh, okay. Right. Makes sense.
How does that feel now compared to before? You feel like
I can actually move it without any. Like when you're pelvic, when you twist, that's where it normally used to hurt.
Yeah.
And it's not. I can't feel anything now.
Okay. So that tells me we're on the right spots.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So when we were mapping, 28 was like, oh shit, that was like a 9 or a 10 for you, and now you're up at 35. So you've increased the voltage pretty significantly there, which is good. Like let's say because of your back, you didn't want to lift or squat heavy, but you still wanted a really intense leg workout.
Yeah.
You could put this on your glute squats, hamstrings, do squats or stiff-legged deadlifts with very little weight or no weight at all, and still get as much muscle recruitment as if you were lifting really heavy.
All right.
So you can get those benefits, and you can do it very, very strategically. And so we've got whole programs and education for people on how to implement it.
What's that then?
So yeah, you can see his ab dancing a little bit there. Can I show it?
Yeah.
Up here? So the current's flowing through there. As it flows through from the pad here to the pad on his back, it's flowing through. It's like a shotgun. It's like pellets spraying. So it's hitting all these different pathways in there, and it's going to be oscillating. The muscle is all these little muscle fibers and motor units, all these little segments. So it's just oscillating through which ones are being stimulated.
That's weird. Is that normal?
Yes, totally normal.
Oh, okay.
Nothing to worry about at all.
Yeah, I kind of don't feel the pain in my back. I'm obviously a bit stiff, but I don't feel the sort of, when I tilt my pelvis, I don't have that pain. How often do you have to do that then?
So it depends. You know, if you were like that because you just had, you know, like an injury or an accident or something, sometimes a couple of these can reset it and it's gone forever. If it's a more chronic thing, if it's a more chronic pattern, you know, gone forever, unless you do it again, or unless, you know, as long as you like maintain it, and you're like, we have to move, right? If it's a more chronic pattern, like you might need a couple sessions a week for several weeks to really kind of hit the reset button.
Yes, it has. Like at the moment, there's no pain. Like it's not like it doesn't affect me, but if I sit down, I've got a pain, like an injury. But that's and it's if I tilt my pelvis in a particular way. Yeah, that's cool. Have they got many places that have this yet then?
So
California.
We've got a couple hundred places around the country. Garrett. Yeah, Matthew, right?
Yeah, thank you. That was cool.
For sure.
I feel,
Thanks for trying it out.
That's worth it, yeah. And let me know the place. I'll definitely do the treatment. That's impressive. That's impressive.
I wrote this book. It describes some fundamental principles in neuroscience and how we can apply those into daily practice in physical therapy, chiropractic, sports medicine, and also to enhance fitness, performance, and overall health. So
that's it.
we describe some neuroscience and then we bring it to life. So it's not too dense and scientific. It's very approachable.